From the thoughts of Reverend Gyome Kubose. A beautiful symphony is possible because of the different instruments. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Okay, good morning, and thank you for joining us for our Sunday Sangha service, and welcome to our Dharma kids, Dharma school children. Okay, so they're going to be moving on through their class, so I'm just going to start with this little story. Okay, let's see, Owen, have you heard this story before? Or the one where did the sound come from? This stick or this stick? Both together. Okay, Graham? No, that's not Graham. Eden. Okay, did you get that? Where did the sound come from? This stick or this stick? Both. Yeah? Okay, Mitzi? Where did the sound come from? This stick or this stick? Both. That's why to remember that we gassho. This gassho, when we put our hands together in gassho, that's to help us remember that nothing happens by itself. Everything happens in life together. Okay? And this idea is to show, okay, Eden, of our oneness, we call it. The oneness of life, that everything lives together. Nothing lives by itself. Does that make sense? Okay. Everything is happening around us, in us, through us. And so we want to be responsible for that awareness of what, just like we recited in the Golden Chain, what I do now depends not only my happiness or your happiness, but also that of others. Okay? So all together, we gassho, and to say thank you in oneness for our life. And then we add Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Okay, so have a nice class and activity, and we'll have a little more discussion later. Thank you. Oh, is Kara or Sam here? Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, Kaya, did you want to go too? Okay. Okay, well, moving on then. This is a little poem that Shinran Shonin composed in one of his collection of poems of the Pure Land, where he wrote, "Delicate sounds of the jeweled trees, of the jeweled forests, produce natural music serene and consonant, excellent are naturally pure and harmonious music, unexcelled in subtlety and grace. So take refuge in Amida, the music of purity." Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. The Friday night, a number of us were privileged to attend and enjoy Kei Nakazawa's was it graduate recital? Yeah, at the Conservatory of Music. And those of us who are able to receive that experience, for me, it was like hearing the Dharma. Hearing the Dharma. It was a very inspiring, encouraging experience of harmony, the oneness of life. And as much as Kei performed in such an amazing way, for me, it was a sense of bringing us together, bringing everyone there present in a sense of sangha, community, harmony, supporting each other's. So there was no separation in my way of receiving her performance. Sure, she was playing the violin and accompanied by a pianist, and then in a quartet she performed with. But they were all in this space, I guess you can call it, of no boundaries, in the oneness of music. There was just this natural flow. And I can't imagine the number of hours, dedication that was required to bring that all together. But in that moment, there was that sense of things being, in my view, I don't play music, I have no clue, but still, how naturally it flowed. Okay, maybe she could give her own experience of it, but I'm just speaking from an audience perspective or a listener's perspective. And then the sense of energy, but yet joy in being able to bring us together in that moment can only be appreciated in that moment. And yeah, we could perhaps listen to the recording, or we could perhaps look at the video. But it was one of those things where the experience of it, meaning the sense of the group, the people who were there in the recital hall, being in the sense of oneness where we began to be part of the music as it resonated within us. So that's the sense of what I think Shinran was referring to, the music of purity. With her pure heart and mind, she expressed her sense of the energy and the direction and inspiration she had received from her teacher, who encouraged her to perform this particular program. And it is that sense of connection that, to me, transcends our usual way of thinking of separating, in which there is me and you, subject, object, instrument, performer, and so forth. So this is the sense of the melody, the music, so-called, that we hear so deeply, that is not really heard, but it's felt, it's experienced. We become the music as the music plays. And this is the thought that came to me as later on many people who were in the audience from BCSF mentioned how they were so moved by that experience, so touched by Kei's inviting us to be part of that special experience. And that was, to me, a Dharma talk, but not with words, but with the sound of her dedication and sincerity that brought us together in that moment to be able to cherish that sense of being in our life. And for that, I thought for today, I would like to acknowledge that and thank her for. And then when you think about it, it's just not her as an individual person, but it's her together, bringing together the violin, the violin which produced those sounds. And the violin came from, I don't know what violins are made out of, I'm guessing basically wood, but the wood comes from the earth. And then the strings, I'm not sure what the strings are made of. What are they made of? Huh?
They're steel strings.
They're steel? Oh, okay. And then there's the handle part. That's plastic?
Also,
Horsehair? Oh, the bow is also horsehair. Well, anyway, I'm getting the sense of all the different parts of the violin are from nature, from the world environment we're part of. And then thinking back of when you started performing or taking lessons, how old were you? Huh. Young child? Was it you or your parents that suggested violin?
my sister started first.
Oh, your sister started taking lessons and then you started joining her? Okay. And then you had those teachers from the beginning as a child, and then your parents taking you to the lessons, and then the music that you were using for your lessons. So this is the image, I think, of oneness, that things happen not by themselves, but of all these different parts. So then you have to break it down into the fact that to get to those lessons, I don't know how far away you had to drive. Was it nearby? So you, again, this is the kind of image or the awareness of how all of these seemingly separate parts are absolutely required for things to come together, for anything to happen in our life, is the result of what we keep referring to as innumerable causes and conditions. And so you're the expression of that for me, of how all of these innumerable causes and conditions come together in our life to make anything a reality, an experience. And at that moment, in your performance on Friday night, I think that's what, for me, moved us to respond with this deep sense of, what was it? Emotion, reaction, pride, I don't know. There was just a sense of connecting, like we're imagining you're our daughter. and having that sense of amazement and deep sense of wow, as David would say. Because, you perform here with our choir, but the pieces you play are kind of enable us to keep up. But your performance on Friday night was such that, there was this initial, whoa, of all that energy, and all that talent, all that dedication of not just you as an individual, but all the causes and conditions around you and us together in that moment is, to me, the sound of pure music, the sound of the Dharma, the sound of oneness. And for that, I was truly grateful to have had that opportunity for experiencing and receiving the sense experience of the Dharma. And so that was the thought I was just kind of been thinking about ever since then to be the basis of this morning's Dharma reflection, which all boils down to, again, the sound experience or sense of the oneness of our life that we express as Gassho and affirm in the expression Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. The delicate, wondrous sounds of the jewel trees and the jewel forests are naturally pure and harmonious music, unexcelled in subtlety and grace. So take refuge in the Buddha, the music of purity. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Amanda.